Today feels like a really good day. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new here, my name is Jess. As you guys can tell from the title of this video, it is going to be my very first, I'm calling it Mental Health Monday on my website, but obviously we're not on my website. This is on my YouTube channel and I have no idea what day I'm gonna upload this, but I got such a positive response on my announcement video where I pitched to you guys possibly doing this kind of series on my channel, occasionally uploading some kind of mental health video, and a lot of people were really excited about that, and it gives me a lot of hope that people want to see things that I want to post. I mean, I know this is primarily a booktube channel, but like I said in that video, mental health is incredibly important to me, so I'm really glad that people are on board with it. I'm obviously sad that people suffer through mental health issues, but I'm glad that I can kind of help in any way that I can. That is like very important to me. Today's going to be, once again, as you guys know, the series overall is going to be very laid back. We're just going to be talking. I spend a lot of time chatting with people over Instagram or over Skype or, you know, just over the phone, through text, anything like that. And I want to give everybody that opportunity to kind of have like an open dialogue within the comments with each other, with me personally through the comments, any way that you know that you can get a hold of me. I'm always here to talk about mental health stuff. And I have to say, with International Women's Day being a couple of days ago from me filming this, I got so much love that people said that they found me inspiring and that they really enjoyed my content, that I pushed them outside of their comfort zone. I never thought I would be that person, so I just wanted to thank you guys for that. For anyone who mentioned me or said anything like that about me, like, I have always been inspired by other people, so it's very weird being on this side of things and being inspiring to people. So thank you guys for your such sweet comments and messages, and I really honestly love you guys. But yeah, enough rambling, because I'm in a really good mood today, and yeah, I'm gonna talk for forever if I don't cut this off. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. Today's video is going to be primarily on mimicking the first post that I made for Mental Health Monday on my website. It is going to be starting fresh or starting over. And I think that it's really important when you go into anything mental health related that you really need to give yourself as clean a slate as you possibly can. And today I want to go over some little tips that I do that kind of help clear my mind, clear my space, just so that when it comes to taking care of myself or really putting my mental health first, I have a completely clean slate to work with. And I think that it's really important to do that, because if you go into anything with a cluttered mind, with, you know, everything bogging you down, it's a little less effective. So I wanted that to be the first video for mental health that I posted on my channel. So today I'm going to give you a couple of the tricks that I have been using anytime I feel like a funk coming on, and it really helps. So I wanted to pass that along to you guys. You can obviously use this as sort of like a self-care video as well. A couple of these things are very self-care related, but yeah, enough rambling. I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. So the first step to starting fresh, or like revamping your mind a little bit when it comes to mental health, is you need to realize that you're worth it. I feel like a lot of people, obviously, who have mental health issues or mental health disorders, it's because something happened in our lives, whether it be someone acted negatively against us, or, you know, a life circumstance happened, whatever it may be. You need to realize that despite that, you are worth it. No matter how worthless we tend to feel, I often feel very worthless. You need to realize that you are your own person, and each person is so important and so different from everybody else that it's not the world's right to say that we aren't worth wanting to feel loved, or wanting to feel important, or wanting to feel better. That's the first thing that I think is the most important. It's going to make any kind of mental health steps that you take more effective, is realizing that you deserve these types of things, that you deserve to take care of yourself, you deserve to feel good. That's like the biggest thing that I think I struggled with when I first started, like, on my mental health journey, was realizing that it wasn't stupid that I wanted to feel better. I didn't need to just be like, well, this is how I am and this is how I'm going to be the rest of my life, and wallow in that. Now, the next thing I'm going to address very quickly. When it comes to mental health, it needs to come from a good place. Once you've realized that you're worth it, it needs to be done in a way that's not, I want to be better, like in a sense of, I'm bad and I need to be better. It doesn't need to be like that. No one is a terrible person because they struggle with mental health. So the first thing that you need to realize is it needs to come from a positive place. I want to feel better, and I know that I deserve to feel better, so I want to take care of myself. I want to treat myself to these things so that I feel better, so that I can be the best version of me, because some of these things can be interpreted as I want to be as good as somebody else, and that's not how things need to be. It needs to be a focus on you. I want to be the best version of me, not I want to be the best version of this YouTuber I saw, or I want to be just like my friend, you know, anything like that. It just needs to be, this is what I want for myself, and this is what is important to my mental health and for being the best version of myself. All right, now getting into a couple of the things that you can do very actively that kind of help a clean slate. A couple of these I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail, because when you first hear them, you're gonna be like, oh God, I've heard these 100 times, but hear me out. A lot of them are very, very helpful. So the first thing that I have here is actually something that works for a lot of people. It is something that I sort of struggle with, but I've kind of adapted this in a different way to my life, and that would be meditation. My husband is an avid meditator. He meditates every single night and sometimes during the day. He is really into that, and it has helped him so much. For me, I have trouble meditating in the traditional sense of sitting or laying and crossing my legs and listening to a guided meditation. For me, meditation is anything that I can do that really takes my mind off of any kind of like pressures in my life. It's something that you're giving your full attention to, that kind of removes you from the circumstances and situations that surround you. For me, my favorite form of meditation is actually long drives. I love long drives. It really gets me in the mindset of focusing on what's important to me and the values for me, and really just like at the same time clearing my mind and getting all of the bad energy out. And I know that sounds like mumbo jumbo. Everybody's always like, oh, you should meditate. But honestly, guys, it really, really works. Any way that you can find that helps. You can do guided meditations. There's a lot of those on YouTube and Spotify. If you have Spotify, there are like meditation groups in your community. I'm sure we have a ton of them here in Columbus. Any kind of meditation that you decide to do is anything that you're giving your full attention to while simultaneously clearing your mind. I know that sounds kind of hard to do, but I promise it's not. Give it a shot and see. It will really, really change your life. Now, the next thing I have here that always helps me is switching things up. So that can be my biggest thing, if you guys know, if you guys watch my vlogs, is rearranging. I love rearranging my space because my space is a mirror of my life. So if I'm feeling very bogged down and cluttered in my head, my office reflects that. There will be like, you know, dishes and books out of place and like just laundry thrown around. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like rearranging your space so that it's clean and fresh. I think that definitely helps. But outside of this, you can also do different things, like take more time on your hair in the morning if you're somebody who likes to do your hair. That is something that I have been trying to do recently. Or paint your nails a different color than what you normally do. Maybe go get your hair done. Buy that lipstick shade that you've been really, really wanting but you don't want to spend the money on. Do something that freshens up either your appearance. You could buy a new outfit, a new pair of shoes, anything that changes kind of what's normal to you. So when you look at yourself or see yourself or think about yourself, you have this new thing to look back on, like new surroundings, a slight change in your appearance. And like I said, this is one of those things that needs to come from a good place. It doesn't need to come from I want to look like somebody else. Just maybe take style points you can get on Pinterest. You know, just do something that's going to kind of switch up your vibe, like your space or the way that you may appear to yourself. Now, the next thing, this kind of goes with switching up your space, but it's cleaning. I know most of us don't like to clean, and honestly, it's like a tell for people with depression. Our spaces tend to be very cluttered. People with anxiety, like, you know, you just want to be as comfortable as possible. And I think that taking a day, getting help from a friend or a family member, and really clearing out your space is so important, because like I said before, a cluttered space makes a cluttered mind. And I don't just mean like clutter, I mean like cleaning, like, you know, wash your floors, do your laundry, put your laundry away, like clean up your bathroom space, clean up your common spaces that you're in a lot, and that will clear your mind so much more than you think it will. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about is one of the more touchy ones that I feel like can either come from a very good place or can come from a very negative place in your life, and you need to make sure that this is something that you're focusing on for you, because I feel like it's a very important point, but it is one that can be misused a lot of the time, especially for people dealing with eating disorders or body dysmorphia, anything like that. So if you do struggle with either of those, you're going to want to kind of keep this one in check. Hopefully you're maybe seeing someone professionally on the side that you can kind of make sure that if you're incorporating this next point into your life, that you are not taking it overboard and that it is coming from a very positive place. But that would be exercise. Now, this can be interpreted in a bunch of different ways. My favorite forms of exercise are stretching, not necessarily like, you know, really avid stretching or anything like that, and walking. I really enjoy taking walks. There's a park pretty much right near my house that I can go down to and just kind of walk around. And then stretching, I stretch every single morning. I try to get my body going, get my blood pumping. But you can incorporate like running, maybe doing like a 5K if you're already active, or joining a walking group, or just scheduling time out of your week to incorporate some sort of exercise. Yoga is another one that I really enjoy. I've been contemplating joining a yoga class. There's a yoga studio near my house. But honestly, exercising can really get your heart rate up. It releases endorphins into your body, and it really puts you in a good mood. Now, I know some people who, with their anxiety, they find this very hard. And that's why I want you to find something that really works that you can incorporate into your life, because a lot of people aren't comfortable enough to go to a yoga class. Some people aren't comfortable enough to go out in public and go for a walk. So find something that you can do at home, which is why I always have 3 different ones. Like I said, if I go for a walk, it's something that I can do when I'm feeling comfortable enough to go out in public. Now, yoga and stretching, obviously I can do at my house. I can do that in my own space, in my own office, but it still does get my blood going. It does still get my endorphins up. Now, like I said, this needs to be something that is taken it needs to be something that you guys really think about, because I don't want this point to become something that is hindering you guys. Because what tends to happen is, I knew somebody, and even me personally, who was really trying to be healthy and really trying to work out, but it didn't come from a place of wanting to take care of my body, because this is going to sound a little weird, but your body is your temple. It is what you put into it and what you do with it. You can't get away from your body. You can't get away from your brain. Like, you guys know that. So it needs to come from a place of wanting to nurture and take care of your body. I am not the fittest person on the planet. I am far from that, but I have incorporated a lot of things into my life that, when it comes to exercise, really work for me, that do, when I'm feeling down, boost my mood a little bit. So try to kind of find some exercise things that work into your life. If you are busy, if you're a student, just any little thing, I honestly think it really helps. Anything that gets us moving. Another thing that I want to talk about, and this is going to be the last point, is really when you get up in the morning, when you are getting ready to go work on something, if you are getting ready to go to like the grocery store, take a little bit more time to put into yourself. Like, when I go to the grocery store, when I wake up in the morning, I'm always like in my PJs. When I go to the grocery store, I'm wearing like a pair of leggings and like a t-shirt. Take time to work on how you are presenting yourself. And I don't mean that because honestly, who cares what anybody else thinks? Like, I have worn the most ridiculous things to go grocery shopping, you would not believe. But it's more about setting yourself up for the day. I feel like when you take time for yourself and you maybe put on your favorite pair of jeans or your favorite shirt, or anything that's comfortable for you, even if that is pajamas, like anything that you do, like remembering to wash your face and brush your teeth, and putting on deodorant and getting something to eat before you go out, really setting yourself up for the day. When it comes to revamping your life a little bit and trying to refresh everything, I think it's really important for maybe like the first week to really focus on that, to really take time for yourself, to make sure that when it comes to your day, you're feeling put together. Because I feel like everything else that you start incorporating into your life, if you're in that mindset and, taking a little bit more time, I don't necessarily want to say on your appearance, but really like setting yourself up for feeling good throughout the day, I think that really helps. That's like the biggest thing that I've been doing recently. I don't ever really wear makeup outside of filming. I really enjoy it, and most of the time I'm in my pajamas. So recently, when I've been getting up, I'll do like a little bit of makeup and like brush my hair, brush my teeth, and then get dressed. And it feels really good because you're not sitting around in your pajamas, and it kind of breaks that cycle of wanting to just like wallow in pity all day. Like, that's another thing. Like, just it makes you energized, and it makes you want to go and conquer the day. And I think that that's something that's really important when it comes to like revamping everything, is being prepared for the day that you've set in front of yourself. And I totally lied. I have one more thing that I wanted to talk about. This is something that I am 100% guilty of. This is something that I struggle with every single day of my life, and that is playing the victim and not cutting the crap. Honestly, life throws a lot of really negative things at us. If you have mental health issues, you will know that is something that we all struggle with. Life always seems to find a way to kind of mess up our days or mess up our weeks, whatever it may be. And I have learned recently that when something really bad happens, or something, throws me off of my groove and it really gets me down, just to like laugh it off and move on, because there isn't anything that you can do about it. And trying not to sit in that negative mentality, trying not to be like, oh, woe is me, or why do things like this always happen to me? And I know that sounds kind of harsh, and I don't mean it to be, but just try to look at things in a positive light. Like, this thing may not have worked out, but now I have opportunities for other things. I can do what I want. And this can really be applied to a lot of things. Obviously, there are a few things that it can't be applied to, but for the most part, things that kind of take your day off of its tracks a little bit or kind of throw you for a loop, it can be fun. It's like half the journey of life is learning to adapt and experience things, and sometimes those experiences are going to be unpleasant, but most of the time I feel like they are going to be very good ones. And I think it's important when you feel like you've been thrown off to not wallow and be like, woe is me, and, you know, post about it all the time, or, you know, it's important to talk to people, but really just like get it out there and then let it go and move on, because sitting there and thinking about all those things over and over again is not going to help you at all. All right, so that is the final point that I had today, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want any more resources, I will list my website down below. You can also follow me on Instagram. I've been posting a little bit more there as well. But I'm so glad that you guys are here with me today and starting this new journey with me. I'm very excited to get it going. I feel like we all have a lot of knowledge to kind of give each other when it comes to mental health stuff, and I think it's really important that we kind of come together as like humanity and kind of help those of us along who are struggling with something like this. So leave in the comments down below any of these ideas that really appeal to you, and also any of these ideas that you've already incorporated into your life, and if they are helping you or if they're not, and kind of how you made them work, or, you know, ones that didn't really work for you, anything like that. But if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.